Captain Alex Carter had seen many space stations in his life, but none as vibrant as the Orion Nexus. Ships of every shape and color docked along its glittering arms, and alien merchants filled the air with calls, selling foods, trinkets, and technology that seemed almost magical. Alex's boots clanked against the polished metal walkway as he wandered through the market. He was on a diplomatic mission from Earth, tasked with observing interstellar trade practices. But he was more interested in the people, or creatures, he might meet along the way. He rounded a corner near a stall selling shimmering fabrics when his shoulder bumped into someone. Drinks sloshed, a small puddle forming at their feet. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," Alex exclaimed, bending to help. The figure in front of him, tall, graceful, and wearing a deep violet cloak, turned slightly. A pair of luminescent eyes widened, and a soft gasp escaped. It's fine," said a melodic voice, though the faint blush creeping across her cheeks betrayed her calm words. Alex straightened, noticing the elegance of her posture, the subtle glow to her skin, and the faint crown-like ornament hidden under her hood. His eyes widened in recognition. "Wait, you're not just another visitor, are you?" he asked, his voice teasing, trying to ease the awkwardness. The alien looked around nervously, then down at him. I should go," she murmured. Alex held up his hands. "No, wait. Let me at least help you dry that drink." He retrieved a small cloth from his jacket pocket and gently dabbed the spill from her cloak. She flinched slightly but didn't pull away. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then Alex grinned. "Well, I guess that makes me the clumsiest diplomat in the galaxy. I should get a medal or something." The corner of her mouth twitched. A soft, almost shy laugh escaped her. "You are amusing," she said, her blush deepening. "Amusing?" Alex laughed too, the sound echoing against the marketplace walls. "I'll take that as a compliment." He paused, studying her. "I'm Alex Carter. And you? You are?" The alien hesitated, glancing around as if fearing someone might overhear. Then with a small smile, she whispered, "Liara. Princess Liara." Alex's jaw dropped for a fraction of a second, quickly replaced by a teasing grin. "Princess Liara? Well, this just got a lot more interesting." She tried to hide her blush, tucking a glowing strand of hair behind her ear. "I am not here officially," she said. "Neither am I," Alex admitted, glancing around at the bustling crowd. "Looks like we're both undercover then. Somehow, that makes spilling drinks on royalty a lot less embarrassing." Liara's laugh grew, a sound as clear as tinkling crystal. "You are very different from the humans I read about," she said, shaking her head slightly. "I expected, I do not know, more serious behavior from your kind." Alex raised an eyebrow, grinning. "More serious? Me? Liara, I'm a diplomat, sure, but mostly I'm good at laughing at myself. You should try it. It's quite fun." Liara tilted her head, considering him. "Perhaps I will, if you promise to continue your amusing ways." "I promise," Alex said with mock solemnity, bowing slightly. "Sir Clumsy Diplomat at your service." A flicker of amusement danced across her face, and for a moment the crowd around them faded. They were two strangers from different worlds, yet somehow laughing together as if they had known each other for years. "Why are you here alone?" Alex asked, curiosity getting the better of him. Liara hesitated. Sometimes I need to see things outside the palace. Outside all the rules, it is freeing." Alex nodded, understanding immediately. "I get that. I travel across the galaxy representing Earth, but the best parts of the trip are always the little discoveries, the laughter, the mistakes, the moments you don't expect." She looked at him, eyes softening. "You make it easy to talk. Humans are different, yes, but not frightening." Alex chuckled. "Not frightening. I'll take that as my first compliment from royalty today." They continued walking through the marketplace, exchanging stories. Alex described Earth with animated gestures, telling her about strange foods, silly sports, and the odd humans he had met along the way. Liara listened intently, occasionally laughing at his jokes and mimicking his expressions in a playful way. Alex noticed that every time she laughed, her blush deepened, and her eyes seemed to sparkle with delight. At a small vendor selling glowing fruits, Alex reached for one. "Ever tried earth fruit?" he asked. Liara shook her head. He handed her a slice, and she tasted it cautiously. Her eyes widened, then she laughed, a soft musical laugh that made Alex grin. You humans have strange tastes," she said, though her smile betrayed enjoyment. "And you aliens have strange expressions," Alex replied, holding back a laugh as he noticed her attempt to mimic his wide-eyed look of surprise. She giggled, again her laughter like music floating through the crowded market. Time passed quickly, and soon the station's artificial sun began to lower, casting long golden shadows. Alex glanced at her. "I should probably report back to my ship soon," he said reluctantly. Liara nodded. "I must return to the palace before my absence is noticed. But I am glad I met you, Alex Carter. You make life lighter." Alex bowed slightly, smiling. "The feeling is mutual, Princess Liara. Perhaps we will meet again, under less clumsy circumstances." Liara laughed softly, a blush still on her cheeks. "Perhaps under less clumsy circumstances," she echoed, her eyes shining. As they parted ways, Alex couldn't help but feel a strange excitement. In a universe so vast and filled with wonders, he had found someone, an alien princess no less, who could match his humor, share his laughter, and remind him why human warmth and curiosity mattered in every corner of space. He whispered to himself as he walked away, "Hey, sweetie," with a playful grin. And though she was out of sight, he imagined her soft blush and gentle reply. "Yes, darling." The memory alone made him laugh, and he knew, somehow they were just beginning a story that neither galaxy nor politics could predict. The next morning, the Orion Nexus space station was buzzing more than usual. Aliens of every species rushed to and fro, merchants called out deals, and travelers hurried to their ships. Captain Alex Carter returned to the observation deck, a quiet place above the station, where the view stretched across the endless black of space, streaked with distant stars. He leaned against the railing, watching the nebula's colorful gases swirl in waves of violet and gold. A soft sound behind him made him turn. Liara, the alien princess, stepped onto the deck. Her violet cloak shimmered in the artificial sunlight, and she smiled gently. "I hoped I would see you again," she said, her voice warm but careful. Alex grinned. "And I hoped you would. I was starting to think I had imagined yesterday's laughter." She tilted her head, and for a moment he noticed the subtle glow along her skin and the elegant way she held herself. "No, it was real," she said softly. "I liked it." Alex's chest warmed. "Good, because I intend to make today just as enjoyable. Shall we walk?" They strolled along the observation deck, the stars reflecting in the polished floor. Alex pointed at the nearby nebula. "You see that?" he said. "We humans call it the Rainbow Veil. It's not really called that officially, but we like to give things funny names." Liara chuckled. "Humans give icon names to beauty. It is amusing." She paused, looking at the swirling colors. "On my planet, we simply observe. We do not name. Perhaps it is simpler." "Sometimes simple is best," Alex said, "but giving something a name, it makes it personal. It makes it ours." She nodded slowly, considering his words. "I see. That is a human way. Personal, connected, different from duty." Alex smiled. "Exactly. And it is nice to share that connection, especially with someone from another world." Liara looked at him, a faint blush appearing on her cheeks. "Someone from another world who is not afraid to laugh with me." They continued walking, exchanging stories of their homes. Alex described Earth, its forests, oceans, mountains, and cities. He spoke of human culture, the silly games people played, and the foods that could make anyone's face turn bright red after a single bite. Liara listened, her eyes widening with curiosity. "Incredible," she said finally. "Your people. They are fearless in their curiosity. They explore, they laugh, they taste life fully." Alex grinned. "Well, it helps to have a little courage. And yes, a little laughter makes life much more enjoyable. Humans may be fragile compared to many species, but we know how to enjoy it." Liara's smile widened. "I think I understand. You make life lighter." "Good," Alex said, laughing. "That's my job. Captain of laughter, diplomat of smiles." As they walked, they came across a small vendor selling glowing fruits from a distant planet. Alex picked one up. "Ever tried something like this?" he asked, holding it toward Liara. She shook her head. "No, it is beautiful." "Then try it," Alex said. He handed her a slice carefully. She took it, hesitated, and then bit. Her eyes widened in surprise, and then she laughed softly. "Strange, but pleasant," she said, smiling. Alex laughed with her. "See? Sometimes strange is just another word for fun." They continued exploring, sharing stories and little jokes. Alex made exaggerated expressions to describe Earth creatures, and Liara mimicked him playfully, her laughter echoing across the deck. They shared tips about their worlds, how humans made jokes, and how her species expressed respect and gratitude. Every time she laughed, Alex noticed her blush deepen, and he realized she was enjoying the moment as much as he was. Suddenly, Liara paused, glancing around nervously. I moo." The Orion Nexus space station had grown quieter by evening. Most merchants had closed their stalls, and travelers hurried to their ships to catch departing transports. Captain Alex Carter walked beside Princess Liara, who had removed her cloak, to blend in more easily with the crowd. The warm glow of the station lights reflected off her skin, giving her an almost ethereal look. Alex was enjoying their conversation when he noticed a shadow move oddly near one of the corridors. He paused. "Wait a moment," he whispered, his hand gently brushing Liara's arm. "Something feels off." Liara followed his gaze, her expression shifting from amusement to concern. "You sense danger?" she asked softly. Alex nodded. Humans had instincts for danger, honed over centuries of survival. "Yes. Something's not right. Let's be careful." They took a slightly different path, avoiding the main corridor. As they turned a corner, Alex saw two figures slipping into a maintenance hatch. Their movements were deliberate, too quick, too coordinated. His heart raced. "They're following us," he said quietly. Liara's eyes widened. "Why? Who would?" Alex shook his head. "Some enemies, I think. Maybe political rivals. They must know your presence on the station. Stay close." They moved silently, weaving through the shadows. The two pursuers were skilled, but Alex's sharp human eyes noticed every detail. The faint glint of a weapon, the calculated steps, the careful scanning of the crowd. "We need a plan," he whispered. "We can't let them see us panic." Liara nodded, gripping his arm lightly. "Lead, Captain." Alex guided her to a service elevator that led to the observation deck. "Up there," he said, pressing the button. "They won't follow us here easily. Elevators are tricky for anyone who doesn't know the controls." The doors closed, and they rose silently above the station. Alex took a deep breath. "Liara, when I say run, we run. Together. No hesitation." She nodded solemnly. "I trust you." The elevator doors opened, and the wide expanse of the observation deck greeted them. Stars stretched endlessly beyond the glass, and the hum of distant engines filled the air. Alex moved toward the railing, keeping Liara close behind. From the corner of his eye, he saw one of the pursuers slip out of the hatch below, scanning the area. Alex whispered. They're on to us, get ready. A human's quick thinking could solve problems under pressure, and Alex was proving it. He grabbed a nearby maintenance tool, a long, lightweight metal rod, and held it ready. We'll create a distraction, he said. Follow my lead. The pursuer approached the elevator, but Alex swung the rod, hitting a nearby control panel. Sparks flew, alarms buzzed, and red lights bathed the observation deck. People nearby scattered, drawing the attention of the intruder. Now, Alex shouted, grabbing Liara's hand. They ran toward the far side of the deck, using the chaos to their advantage. Liara stumbled slightly, but Alex's strong grip steadied her. Her blush from embarrassment mixed with adrenaline. You humans are very brave, she panted. Alex smiled without slowing down. Not brave, smart, and a little lucky. They darted through a service tunnel Alex had spotted earlier. The narrow passageway was dimly lit, perfect for staying hidden. Their pursuers' footsteps echoed behind them, but Alex's knowledge of the station's layout gave them an edge. As they ran, Alex noticed a small ventilation hatch ahead. We can take this, he said. It'll lead us to the upper maintenance level. They won't think to check there. Liara climbed into the hatch first, her agility impressive. Alex followed, squeezing through the tight space. The metal walls pressed close, but he remained calm. Human resilience, honed through years of adaptation and survival, allowed him to stay composed even in such a confined and dangerous situation. They emerged into a dimly lit maintenance corridor. Alex peeked around a corner. The pursuers were searching below, frustrated. They're losing us, he whispered. Liara's shoulders relaxed slightly. You humans are amazing. I am impressed. Alex chuckled softly. You haven't seen anything yet. Let's get you somewhere safe. They moved quickly to a secure observation room, overlooking the docking bays. Alex accessed a terminal and sent an encrypted alert to the station security, describing the intruders and their suspicious behavior. Within minutes, security forces began moving to intercept. Liara watched, her eyes wide with admiration. You saved me, not with weapons, but with your mind. Alex shrugged modestly. Sometimes brains are better than brawn, and a little human luck never hurts. For a moment, the tension broke. Liara laughed softly, covering her face with her hands. You are impossible. Even in danger, you make me laugh. Alex grinned. Well, it's a gift. You should thank your luck that you met me. They watched as the station security apprehended the intruders below. The threat was gone for now. Liara exhaled a sigh of relief, her blush returning. I did not expect such danger. Here. But I feel safer with you. Alex smiled warmly. And that's what humans do. We protect, we fight, and we laugh along the way, even when the universe seems against us. She looked at him, violet eyes soft and shining. You make humans admirable. Perhaps that is why your people are so respected across galaxies. Alex laughed, the sound echoing in the empty corridor. I think we just made our first real adventure together, Princess Liara, and somehow we managed to survive it laughing. She giggled, a musical sound that made his chest warm. Yes, we laughed. They paused, watching the stars through a small viewport. In the quiet after the danger, the universe seemed calm and vast. Alex realized that no matter how advanced the alien worlds, human courage, intelligence, and humor could make a difference. They could solve problems, protect those they cared about, and turn tense moments into memories of laughter and trust. Liara finally spoke softly. Captain. Alex. I like you more than I expected. You make life lighter, even in danger. Alex smiled, feeling the warmth of the connection between them. And you make humans look good. Somehow, you make my job easier and more fun at the same time. For a moment they simply stood there, two beings from entirely different worlds connected by courage, humor, and trust. And Alex knew that this was only the beginning. More challenges would come, more dangers might arise, but together, they could face anything, turning even fear into laughter, and even strangers into friends. The small exploration vessel glided smoothly through space, carrying Captain Alex Carter and Princess Liara to an uncharted planet. The mission was simple. Liara had a ceremonial task to perform for her kingdom, and Alex had insisted on accompanying her. It was the perfect opportunity for the human diplomat to learn more about her world, and for the princess to experience human ingenuity firsthand. As they entered the planet's atmosphere, a riot of colors filled the viewport. The sky was a swirling mix of pink and teal, with twin suns casting long, soft shadows across the dense alien jungle below. Trees with glowing leaves reached toward the sky, and enormous flowers pulsed with gentle light. The planet seemed alive. This is incredible," Liara whispered, pressing her hands to the glass. Her blush returned, partly from awe, partly from excitement. I have never seen anything like this." Alex smiled, his eyes sparkling. Humans would call it breathtaking and dangerous, but mostly breathtaking. The ship landed in a clearing, and the hatch opened with a soft hiss. Liara stepped out first, her movements graceful and careful. Alex followed, scanning the surroundings. "Stay close," he said. "I want to make sure nothing surprises us." Liara glanced at him, her violet eyes wide. "Surprises are part of life, yes? But I trust your instincts." As they walked deeper into the jungle, the alien flora became more unusual. Bioluminescent vines curled around towering trees, and small hovering creatures darted between the branches, their wings shimmering like glass. Alex knelt down to observe a cluster of glowing mushrooms. "Look at this, Liara. Earth has nothing like it. But the principle is the same. Life finds a way to shine, even in darkness." Liara touched the mushrooms lightly. "On my planet we study how life thrives. But you see beauty even in small things, that is, human." Alex chuckled. "Humans notice patterns, small details. We survive by observing, by thinking ahead, and sometimes by laughing at the unexpected. And it helps to have a companion who appreciates it too." She smiled, a faint blush crossing her cheeks. "I appreciate it. You make the journey easier." Their path soon became tricky. A deep river blocked the trail, its water glowing faintly with an alien light. Large stones jutted out, forming a rough path, but the current was strong. Alex studied the stones carefully. "We can cross, but we need to be precise. One wrong step and we could be swept away." Liara nodded. "I will follow your lead." Alex stepped first, testing each stone. His balance was steady, and he extended a hand toward Liara. She followed, her movements elegant, though the current tested her footing. "Careful. You're doing well," Alex encouraged. Halfway across, a shadow darted from the trees. A predator. It was large, with glowing eyes and sharp claws. Liara froze, her breath catching. "Stay calm," Alex whispered. "Watch me." He grabbed a branch nearby and hurled it toward the predator, startling it just enough to give them time to finish crossing. Liara gasped, her hands gripping Alex's arm tightly. "You humans are fearless, even in danger." Alex laughed, softly, despite the adrenaline. "Not fearless, I'm smart and a little lucky. Come on, let's move before it returns." Once safely on the other side, the palace of Liara's homeworld floated above a shimmering lake, its towers glowing like crystal under the light of two moons. Elegant bridges connected spires that seemed to defy gravity, and thousands of lanterns drifted across the water, casting golden reflections. Captain Alex Carter had seen many alien wonders during his travels, but nothing compared to this. Standing at the entrance, Alex adjusted his uniform nervously. "Well, he muttered. A human walking into an alien. Royal ball, what could possibly go wrong? Liara, dressed in flowing silks that shimmered with every step, looked at him with a soft smile. Do not worry, Alex. You have already faced predators and danger. A palace ball will be easy. Alex grinned, trying to ease his nerves. Easy? For you, princess. For me, it's like walking into a room full of judges waiting for me to trip. Liara laughed, her cheeks blushing faintly. Then do what you always do. Laugh at yourself. With that, they stepped into the grand hall. Music filled the air, a melody played on instruments that shimmered like crystal wind chimes. Aliens of every noble house turned their heads as Liara entered, whispers filling the chamber. The princess had returned from her ceremonial journey, and by her side walked a human. Alex bowed politely, keeping his smile calm. He felt the weight of hundreds of eyes on him, but instead of stiffening, he chuckled softly. I think they like me already, he whispered to Liara. She covered her mouth to hide her laugh. Perhaps, or they are simply curious. The king and queen, Liara's parents, sat at the far end of the hall on thrones carved from crystal. The queen's eyes narrowed slightly at Alex, while the king raised an eyebrow with quiet amusement. Liara led Alex forward, her hand brushing lightly against his arm. Mother, father, Liara said softly, bowing gracefully. This is Captain Alex Carter of Earth. He aided me in my journey. The queen studied Alex carefully. A human, she said slowly, her voice sharp but curious. So fragile, and yet you returned safe, my daughter. Why? Alex straightened, meeting her gaze with calm confidence. With respect, Your Majesty, humans may look fragile, but we survive not because of strength alone. We survive because we think, adapt, and help one another. And sometimes, we laugh at the odds. The king chuckled softly at this, his deep voice echoing through the hall. Spoken boldly. Perhaps there is more to humans than I thought. Liara's blush deepened as she glanced at Alex. He has saved me more than once. And he makes life lighter. A murmur spread through the nobles. The queen raised an eyebrow but said nothing more. Instead, she gestured toward the ballroom floor. Then let us see how this human fares among royalty. The dance begins. Music swelled, and couples moved gracefully across the shining floor. Liara turned to Alex, smiling softly. Do you know how to dance? Alex laughed nervously. Define dance. If you mean not stepping on your feet, then no promises. Liara giggled, the sound like crystal bells. Then I will guide you. She took his hand, her touch warm and steady. They stepped onto the floor. Alex followed her lead clumsily at first, nearly stumbling, but instead of panicking, he laughed. See? This is the part where humans usually apologize 100 times. Liara laughed too, her blush glowing brighter. You are impossible, but I like it. As they continued, Alex grew more confident. He used humor to cover every mistake, and Liara's laughter made even the nobles watching smile despite themselves. Slowly, the whispers turned from doubt to admiration. The human wasn't stiff or afraid, he was light, charming, and full of warmth. Suddenly, another noble couple collided with them by mistake. The hall grew silent, tension thick in the air. It could have been seen as disrespect, even an insult. Alex acted before the silence grew heavy. He exaggerated a bow, laughing loudly. Ah, a new dance move. On Earth, we call that the bump step. Very popular in certain circles. The hall paused, then laughter spread among the nobles. Even the king chuckled, shaking his head. Liara covered her face, laughing into her hands. You turned insult into comedy, she whispered. Alex winked. That's the human way. Why get angry when you can laugh? The rest of the dance passed smoothly, with Alex and Liara moving gracefully together. The nobles watched, their skepticism slowly melting into admiration. By the time the music ended, Alex had won them over. not with strength but with humor and heart. As the evening continued, Alex was invited to sit among the royals. He told light-hearted stories about Earth, strange foods like pizza, silly games, like football, and even embarrassing moments from his own past. The nobles laughed, surprised by how easily he shared his flaws. "You humans," one noble said between chuckles. "You laugh even at yourselves." "Fascinating." Alex raised his glass. "Exactly. It's our strength. Because if you can laugh at yourself, nothing else can defeat you." Liara watched him, her heart warm. Every time he spoke, every time he made others laugh, her blush returned. She had never met anyone who could turn fear into joy so easily. As the night drew to a close, the king stood addressing the hall. "Tonight we have seen something rare. A human who walks among us not as a stranger but as a friend. Humor, courage, and heart. Perhaps these are the traits that make humanity worthy of respect." The nobles applauded softly, and Alex bowed, humbly. He glanced at Liara, who blushed deeply, her violet eyes sparkling. When they stepped outside into the moonlit gardens, Liara turned to him. "You amazed them. You amazed me. Even in a hall filled with eyes, you made them laugh." "That is not weakness, that is power," Alex grinned. "I told you, princess, laughter is strength. And maybe the best kind." Liara's blush deepened and she laughed softly. "Yes, Captain, you are right. And I am glad you are here." They walked together through the quiet gardens, the lanterns glowing around them. Alex felt a calm joy settle in his heart. He hadn't just survived the royal ball, he had shown the strength of humanity in the simplest way possible, with laughter, warmth, and courage. And beside him, Liara walked with a smile, her blush never fading. The night air was cool and filled with the scent of blooming flowers. Beyond the palace gardens, the two moons cast silver light across the water, and lanterns drifted slowly, glowing like stars that had fallen into the lake. The music from the royal ball had faded, leaving only the soft whisper of the wind. Alex walked beside Liara, his hands behind his back, taking in the alien beauty around him. "You know," he said, breaking the silence with a gentle smile, "if Earth's poets saw this place, they'd quit writing. No words could beat this view." Liara looked at him, her cheeks glowing with a faint blush. "And yet, your words make it brighter." Alex laughed quietly. "You always know how to return a compliment in a way I can't beat." They walked further into the gardens, where crystal trees shimmered with pale light. The path twisted toward a balcony overlooking the lake. Liara's steps slowed as she gazed out at the floating lanterns. Her long hair shimmered under the moonlight, and her eyes reflected the stars. For a moment, Alex simply watched her in silence. He thought of everything they had been through, escaping dangers, facing predators, surviving storms, meeting her family, and even dancing in front of a hall of nobles. And through it all, laughter had carried them. Liara turned to him, her blush deeper now. "Captain, I want to thank you, not only for saving me, but for showing me a part of life I never knew I needed." Alex tilted his head. "And what part is that?" She lowered her gaze slightly. "The part where laughter is stronger than fear, where hope shines even in darkness, where even mistakes can become joy." Alex grinned warmly. "Well, princess, that's the human way. We're not the strongest or the fastest, but we know how to keep going, even when everything says we shouldn't. We keep smiling, keep laughing, and somehow that keeps us alive." Liara's heart stirred at his words. "Yes, and it keeps others alive too. You made me laugh when I was afraid. You gave me strength when I thought I had none left." The silence between them grew soft, filled with meaning. Liara's violet eyes shimmered, and Alex could see the warmth in them. She was a princess of another world. Yet at that moment, she was simply a friend, someone who had shared trials, laughter, and hope with him. Alex broke the silence with a playful smile. You know, Liara, back on Earth, when people blush as much as you do around someone, it usually means they like them. Liara's eyes widened slightly, and her blush deepened until it almost glowed. She covered her lips with her hand, then laughed softly. You are impossible. Impossible? Alex teased. Or just honest? She shook her head, laughing again. Honest and impossible. They both laughed together, their voices echoing gently through the garden. After a while, they sat on a stone bench near the balcony. The water below reflected the drifting lanterns, each light a symbol of blessing from the nobles. Alex leaned forward, resting his arms on his knees. You know, Liara, when I first met you, I thought I was just protecting a princess, but it turns out I was meeting a friend I'll never forget. Liara looked at him, her blush soft now, her voice calm. And I thought I was just traveling with a human guard, but I was meeting someone who made me laugh, who made me feel free. Alex smiled. Then I guess we both got more than we expected. They sat quietly, letting the night speak for them. The lanterns rose slowly higher into the sky, floating upward like stars returning to their home. Alex leaned back, staring up at the twin moons. You know, on Earth,